Hi, I'm Matt Raebel, and this is The Spread, brought to you by Myaxx. Welcome to The Spread, where I talk about the top stories of the week so that we can heckle them together. After tumbling to 14 points from its starting position of about 19 points at the start of this month, the VIX hiccuped this week, prompting some options investors to take on big bets that the VIX would go even higher next month. There are a bunch of reasons why this may be. September 20th was a quadruple witching day, a day in which options and futures on both indices and stocks expire at the same time, causing increased volatility from increased volume. Then there were the drone strikes against Saudi Arabian oil fields this month, which caused a temporary 5% loss in global oil production. And then Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi announced a formal impeachment inquiry into Trump's dealings with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, which was predictably supported almost unanimously by Democratic representatives and rejected almost unanimously by Republican representatives. It's still early yet, but I think it's safe to say that will probably affect the trade war in one way or another. Since SIBO dropped its Bitcoin futures contract in March, the much ballyhooed launch of Intercontinental Exchange's Bitcoin baby Bakkt this week meant that the CME has a rival once again in Bitcoin derivatives. Just ahead of Bakkt's launch, the CME group dropped a little bombshell of their own. According to a press release from late last week, they plan to offer cash-settled Bitcoin options contracts for their customers sometime in early 2020, as long as they get the green light from the CFTC. CME had been the sole provider of Bitcoin futures in the US since March, though their contracts are cash-settled, while Bakkt's contracts are physically delivered. Myaxx announced this week that it plans to launch futures trading on the Spikes Volatility Index on the Minneapolis Grain Exchange on November 18th. Since the Miami Exchange launched options contracts on Spikes in February, this gives their customers the ability to trade spreads between the futures and options contracts on Spikes, which will likely increase consumer appetite for more of those tasty options contracts. Myaxx's CEO Thomas Gallagher said the exchange wants to go after, quote, the monopoly that SIBO has through the VIX in volatility, end quote. Basically, he's saying that SIBO has 2 hotels and a house on the boardwalk space, and Myaxx is looking to set up a few properties of their own on Park Place. According to a new Charles Schwab study, the leading cause of bad decisions for investors is using recent news articles to inform their investment habits. This story caught my attention because I actually have a degree in psychology, which means I get to put on my psychology hat. Basically, the study found that these bad investment decisions could be explained by something called recency bias, which is a normal quirk of human brains that causes people to make unrealistic assumptions about the future based on the most recent information that they heard, overriding any other knowledge or experiences they might have had that contradicts those assumptions, like, the Dow is down today, so it's probably going to keep going down, or I heard DJ Khaled say that investing in this ICO is a good idea, so it must be true. That's going to do it for The Spread this week. I'm Matt Raebel. Thanks for watching.